Hi, this is Chris from dashcamcentral.com.au. Today we're just going to have a look at the menu functions on the new Mini 0903 or Mini Nano Q as it's also known. So as you can see, we'll have a quick look at the camera just before we get started. So on top there you can see that we've got an AV out. That is in fact your new centrally mounted GPS mount as opposed to mounted off one side like all the other Minis, and I'm just powering this one off my mobile phone charger, so because we're on the car, so as you can see it's just plugged in there. And then we'll just go over to the ends. So there's nothing on that end, nothing on the other end. Over on the front we have the lens. We've got some heat vents, and we've also got microphone. On the bottom we've got some more heat vents. We've got mini HDMI out, and of course single memory card slot on this camera. So we'll just go to the back of the camera where you've got your 1.5 inch screen, and you've got 6 buttons. So what we'll do is we'll just switch it on from the power switch source over there. Just let it power up by itself. We'll try and get in close on the screen here just so we can have a look at some of the information that it gives you on the screen. I understand that some of this may change on production cameras. This is in fact a beta camera. It's an early version running 2015 firmware, but you can see on the bottom right, camera's recording, so it's counting up there. Right in the middle, it's giving us the time. Over on the left there, it's giving us date stamp, and we've got green, so we've got power. Over on the top of the screen, so just here, we've got microphone, telling us the microphone switched on. It's telling us what resolution we're in, so at the moment we're in 1080p, 30 frames per second. Red flashing dot right in the middle there, just let us know the camera's recording. And over on the left, you can see we're recording 3-minute segments. We've got no Wi-Fi turned on at the moment, and you've got basically your EV and your light values over on the left. Understand that we'll also have a indicator for GPS on the left, parking guard and motion detection. So we'll just run through the buttons. So basically you've got 6, you've got your power button just here, you've got your mode button here and your LED indicator button here. Over on the right you've got your OK or select button, and you've got an up and a down. So a lot of these buttons are multifunctional, so they do one thing in record mode and another in standby mode. So over on the top left we've got the power button, so short press just switches off our screen. Short press again, she comes back on. Long press will actually power off the camera. So you can see it's just powered off there, and of course we can just short press and she'll power back on. So with our mode button here in the middle, basically in this mode, if you give it a short press, so it takes a photo, so it just flashed up on the right there where it's telling you it's taken a photo whilst recording. So that's a snapshot you can take while recording. And in record mode, if we long press, over on the left here, it's just telling us that it's gone into parking guard function. So we'll just switch that off. Bottom button here is just on off for the LED indicator that we've got there. So over on the right, we've got your OK button, your up and your down button. So your OK button will of course start and stop the recording. You can see the red light's gone off and timer stopped recording. Press it again and she'll go back into record mode. So now on this particular version, in record mode, so the up button actually goes into zoom mode, so coming closer you can see that it's actually zooming in, and we can zoom out. Nothing in the owner's manual on this, so I'm assuming that it may or may not be on production cameras, but it's there at the moment. So and if we long press whilst we're recording here, in fact just takes a photo as well. So alright, so what we'll do is we'll just stop the recording so we can go into the other functions. So essentially these buttons over on the left do pretty much the same thing in record mode as in standby mode. The mode button will give you a different function here, so you can see if I push that, it's changing the resolution. You see we've gone to 720 60p, 720 30, goes over to VGA mode, and then back into 1080 30p. So whilst we're in standby mode, most of the functions are really over here on the right. So what we do is in standby mode, the up button again, we just give zoom in, zoom out with a short press. But if we do a long press, it takes us into menu functions. Now I'll try just to get this in the right lighting, just so we can read what's on those functions. So you can see the top one is Wi-Fi host, so obviously that just allows us to switch the Wi-Fi on off. There's third-party apps that you've got some additional Wi-Fi features for this camera. Switched off, so we just go down. Obviously we can go in and change the video resolution again. We've been through those, but you see you've got your 4 functions, and the main setting I suspect you'd use, certainly for the Sony sensor in this, is the 1080 30 frames per second. Moving down, quality, so you can select superfine, normal or fine, so we'll leave that in the superfine setting. Go down, you can adjust the white balance, so again, got some functions there. You can see we've got auto, you can select fluorescent, tungsten, so there's a couple of options there. We'll go back to auto. Moving along, we've got the exposure values, so you can go in and change your EV plus or minus. Just leave that to 0. Flicker, so that's just if you're on power or NTSC, so you can adjust that from 60 Hz, 50 Hz. Just leave that 60 Hz because we're in Australia. Time lapse, so this switches camera over to time lapse, and you've got some options there whether you want it to take a frame or off at the moment. 500 milliseconds, 200 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds or off, so we'll leave that off. And we've got loop recording, so again that just allows us to set 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute. We can switch that off for continuous recording. I generally leave mine at 3 minutes. And we've got motion detection, so obviously that allows us to switch motion detection on or off. So leave that off. Boot sound, so that's obviously just the beeps that you hear, so again we can go in and switch those off, just like that. So we've got no annoying sounds. Go back in, just switch that on. So here we've got, see if we can bring that up. So in my display here, it's just a bit hard to see. So that's the blue indicator. And the blue indicator, it's not actually working on this firmware, but just allows you to adjust what this light tells you. So you can adjust the functionality of what the LED is telling you, that's microphone on, off, and so forth. So next we've got flip mounting. So flip mounting basically allows you to invert the camera, so you can mount it the right way up or upside down. So you've got a 180 degree flip function, and if we go in there, it's just going to have on or off. So okay, so this is standby off. So assume you've got power or hardwire kit to your camera. This just allows you to go in and adjust the time that it will power down when it goes into standby mode. So it's not seeing anything or any movement in the video screen. You have that one off, 1 minute up to 5. So again, you've got screen off display. So go in there. You can adjust the amount of time it takes for the screen to go off, so it'll power off while you're driving. So if you don't like having the screen at night, you can have it switch off after 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, or off 5 minutes, 3 minutes. G-Sense and sensitivity, so that just allows you to adjust how hard you get a G-Shock before it locks a video file, and the settings on that one are 3G, 2.5 and 4.5. So I'll set mine to the maximum. There, GPS, so that obviously allows you to turn the GPS on or off. So it's just a straight on or off function. Speed stamping, so that allows you again, gives you this to have your speed stamp on or off your video. Going down, driver number plate, same thing, on or off. Driver number, so that allows you to literally go in and set your own driver number. So you put your license plate and registration number in there if you wish. Date stamp, again, whether you want your date stamp on or off your video. and you've got time stamping, so timestamp on or off your video. This allows you date and time to actually set your date and time, so you can see on here that you've got this plus and minus 8, so if you're using GPS it'll pick up the time from GPS, so you need to make an adjustment for your local time. And then of course you can go through, manually adjust your date and time if you're not using GPS. Language, so you've got a number of languages in there. This firmware only has English and Chinese. I understand future firmware will give other options. Format card, so that just obviously allows you to format your micro SD card in your camera. And you've got restore defaults, so obviously you can just go back and if you played with your EVs or some other functions you don't like, you can just go back to factory defaults and start again. And you've got firmware version, so that just tells you what firmware you've got on the camera. As you can see, this one's running 21.12.2015, so that's December firmware from last year. So we'd expect to see updated firmware on the new cameras. So what we'll do from here is we will just, as you can see, we go back to the start menu, right at the top. We'll long press just to go out of that menu. And with the down button, so we've also got that one. If we do a long press on that, what it does just takes us back into playback mode. So we can see there that we're looking at photos at the moment, so we've got 21 photos in there. Do another long press, take us through, that was to video mode, so you can see that on this particular camera we've got 54 videos because it's been loop recording. And of course you can select those and push OK, and you can go into playback mode, you can fast forward and rewind. I won't go through that now. Long press again, and we're back into video mode. So I just want to show you one function which most people use that I missed earlier, and that is just how to switch on and off the microphone. So whilst you're in record mode only. If you want to switch off that microphone, you just do a long press on that up button, and you see it's turned the sound off. You've got a red line through your microphone just here. Turn it back on, just long press again. So that's it. That is the menu functions on the new Mini 0903, and this is Chris from dashcamcentral.com.au.